This podcast is brought to you by SeatGeek. Gunners R Us podcast is brought to you by SeatGeek, and our promo code is TBA Wrestling. That is TBA Wrestling. Put that in the promo code for $20 off your first purchase.
Welcome to Gunners R Us, where we are positively Arsenal.
And that we are.
You know, hear the way I said that? I said Arsenal. I pronounce every letter.
That's the thing sometimes. You have to do
Is
it
it because I'm
sometimes.
too relaxed?
It might be because you're too relaxed. And we are here on iTunes and Spotify as always, and we're also on TikTok.
Live.
We're on Gunners R Us TikTok, and I'm looking at the audio, Joe.
Yep.
And look at the part where you spoke and the part where I spoke.
Is that the big one?
I think so, yeah. Look,
I did get very close for the intro.
You
though.
did, yeah.
I wanted to make sure the intro was clear and concise.
I just wonder if that's unbearable for the listeners, you know what I mean?
You
First,
reckon?
yeah, because I don't know how loud that was.
They know where they are, though.
I've had a slight issue with my audio, and I can't hear playback. So there is a chance this audio is not how I want it to be, but I do apologise, but I'm fairly sure it should be good.
Well, it's because we're in a slightly different situation this week.
Yeah, we're. I'm not dog sitting my own dog, but I mean, my wife is not home.
She's gone to the merry land of England.
She's gone to England. She's gone to see her family. So one thing I know about my dog Luke is he does not like it when you go into the podcast room and shut the door.
Oh, he's right there.
So the big man, if you're on TikTok, is just in bed behind us. Hence why we're in. Well, Joe's in a bed and I'm in a chair. The mic is hooked to a random chair. The laptop is there. We've got a Monster Energy down here. I've got a book for our predictions here.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on. We've got a Roman Reigns interview going on the TV. There's a lot happening. I'll just say that. I don't know what's going on. Actually.
YouTube took a turn there because, first off, I don't want to say anything bad about Man City, but there was a Man City YouTube video.
I turned that off, by the way.
Did you turn it off?
Yeah, I did. This isn't in the algorithm from that.
Well, it's not positively City.
Well, you know what's weird is I went to the Arsenal YouTube channel and the actual page, and I put play mix, and it played Zinchenko getting interviewed by Walcott, and he's kind of fanboying over Walcott.
Woo!
And then Roman Reigns interview just came on.
That's fair. Well, it shows where our head's at.
Yeah, but I don't understand. That was Arsenal's play mix. That wasn't my play mix. That's what's throwing me a little bit. Anyway.
Greatness knows greatness, you know?
Maybe I'm just overthinking it. Thank you for everyone that has just joined the TikTok. Let everyone know if you could send this across to some of your followers. It would be really helpful. Someone just said, "What are you doing?" This is the Gunners R Us podcast on iTunes and Spotify. We do this every single Wednesday, 10 a.m. GMT. Obviously, we're a tiny bit early. We are recording the podcast right here on this microphone, and we have a lot to talk about because the international break is, officially over.
It's done.
It's officially over, I would say, because
we can all wake up from the interlull.
It wasn't just an interlull. It was a goddamn nightmare, and I apologise to any American listeners for that bad language, really. But looking at TikTok, he says that we're already talking nonsense, which is interesting because you're obviously new to the show.
Yeah. And he says, "Have you nothing better to do?"
No.
This is what Wednesday mornings look like for
I
us.
tell you what, and thanks to SeatGeek, this is all we have to do. So use our promo code TBA Wrestling, and we'll continue to do so. At a more ferocious rate, if anything. Thank you again to SeatGeek. Anyway, the international break is over. There is so much to unpack from this international break. Last week on the show, Joe wasn't here because real life got in the way and there was a lot going on. And I kind of broke down how I thought the transfer window was a 7.5.
Yep.
How we were going into an international break, and as long as we didn't get injuries, we're going to be relatively well sat, kind of, for the North London derby, away at Atalanta and away at City in the space of 7 days. The problem with everything I said last week was the only injury I said would be unattainable to deal with was Martin Odegaard.
Yes.
And the reason I said that was because we looked across the squad and we looked at the fact we have 9 defenders, with 7 of them playing anywhere across the back 4.
Yeah.
We are well suited there. We have the goalies. We have 3 goalies. We have Saka. We brought in Sterling, great backup. We have Martinelli. We have Trossard. We have Jesus. We have Havertz. And I said, but, Odegaard, Rice and Moreno. But Moreno was already injured at this point. But we had Rice. Partey and Jorginho at the number 6, and Rice can also play there. I was like, okay, Ethan wary if he can kind of fit in there nicely. But the only thing we didn't have after selling Smith Rowe and loaning out Vieira is we have no other number 10.
No.
So the one injury across the whole team that would probably make it just impossible to deal with was Martin Odegaard.
Odegaard is the only guard.
And not only did we get Martin Odegaard get injured this week for Norway, so did Calafiori for Italy.
Fantastic. We don't know much about that one.
We don't know much about the Calafiori one, and in time I'm sure it's going to come to light what's going on with him. But Italy kind of said it was a knock, and they weren't worried about it. But then they sent him home. They said he'd play 3 days later, and then they said, "Nah, we'll send him home." That could be precaution. It could be Arsenal on the phone saying, "Could you just send him back?
Yeah.
We just made a big investment. We don't want to." We don't want a problem with this guy, obviously, when he's just come in. And also, he's got a history of a giant injury in his career.
Yeah.
So, no, you don't want to take any risks. But then the Odegaard one's happened. And this looks like a bad one. Again, we haven't had an official word. It's just one of these... I don't know what to say. Because this could be a situation where he plays the North London derby, or it could be a chance that he isn't seen till February.
Yeah.
And I don't know which one it is yet. So we're kind of doing this podcast early.
There's also a chance he can play the North London derby, make it 10 times worse, to be out longer.
Yeah, and it looked like he couldn't even walk on it. So I can't imagine playing North London derby. But when your foot goes over that way, according to Twitter and doctors on Bro Science Twitters, apparently the kind of damage you could do is either like a rupture of kind of ligaments on the top of your foot and down your shin.
Yeah.
Or you pull them and it's just swelling.
Yeah.
And it's a pain management thing, which means he could miss just a couple weeks.
It's a Rice situation and not the player.
Yeah, it's a really interesting one. I just want to shout out to George Guest, sent a gift in the TikTok. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
And the question of the this might be the weirdest looking podcast setup I've ever seen. Yeah, and if you listen to the episode, Gunners R Us on iTunes and Spotify, you'll know why. It's dog related.
I tell you what, it does also make kind of sense because you don't see sometimes before we start these shows every week.
Mm-hmm.
We usually spend about half an hour to 45 minutes in this room with me in this position, Scott in that chair, talking a lot of football before we even go live on air. And we do say every week we should probably save this for the podcast. So what we've done is we brought the podcast to us.
Yeah, and again, if you watch us every single week on TikTok, you'll see we're in a not a studio, but it's a study, but we've made it look nice for our lives and for podcasts. And we podcast with Simon Miller and we podcast the Peppercorn Boys. So we've got 3 podcasts. But today we've really tried to make sure the dog is happy. And I can show you the dog on TikTok. I love you guys so much. I'm your biggest fan from George Guest. I'm number 1 gifter for a reason. I appreciate that, George.
Thank you, George.
The reason we're here is this guy. Look, if you see him sleeping, on obviously iTunes and Spotify, I'm showing my dog Luke laying in the corner of the bed. That is the reason we're in here with the WrestleMania chair in the background. Because he gets a bit of anxiety when we go into that studio when there's no one else in the house. And today there's no one else in the house. So.
And also what the listeners and viewers don't know is we also do this every week from an old haunted house in Wales.
Yeah, it does look haunted, and I do. And to be honest, Arsenal are haunted at the minute.
Yeah.
I was listening to Arseblog with Gunnerblog and Andrew, and I was listening to it, and I almost didn't want to listen to it because it was a day old. It had already become old.
Yeah.
Because Odegaard hadn't been injured yet.
Yeah.
And I thought, do I need to listen to this because so much has happened now?
Yeah.
Like that one Odegaard injury just changed everything.
Yeah.
Because we thought we were short going into North London derby with the debacle of a Rice red card.
Yep.
Moreno's random, clown injury. Like I say clown not because he's a clown, but like the haunting.
Yeah.
It is like a jinx.
Yeah.
For Gabriel in your first training session to land on you and break your shoulder is bizarre. The Rice red card won't happen again. It's bizarre.
Yeah.
Calafiori's injury is bizarre.
Yeah.
Someone tripped someone. They rolled up onto his ankle.
Yeah.
None of this is like stuff you can kind of account for before the season.
Yeah.
But we did feel after the transfer window that we were a little light.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes the world has a way of showing you've made a mistake. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
So Arsenal made a mistake of being a little light, and then the world went, all right, we'll make you lighter and prove you can't just go for a season and go, yeah, our captain, our number 10, the one playmaker in the midfield, he's going to stay fit the whole season.
Yeah.
Here's an injury on international break. So
it's like you've got this one super delicate, expensive vase that sets your house's tone. and then there's people running around the house all day long, and there's a chance this vase might break one day. But you're relying on the investment you made in this vase. Then the vase actually breaks. The one thing you don't expect to happen happens.
Yeah.
Because there's people running around all the time. You're just hoping it doesn't.
And in the TikTok, we got Vince Rennie says, cracks me up when teams near the top of the league claim they're in a crisis. I don't think we're in a crisis. I just think it's...
Unfortunate.
Yeah, it's comedic almost. Because we could all see that we were packing light for the holiday, but then the bag has gone missing.
Yeah.
That's what I'd say.
Yeah.
And again, I try to be cognizant of the fact that when, big teams, in quotes, get bad decisions and we think it's the world's against us.
Yeah.
And there's teams in the bottom half of the league that get these bad decisions every single week and have to deal with it. And I do try to make sure I'm aware of that, of the kind of top four bias.
Yeah.
Is definitely something. But these injuries are so bizarre. And I listened to this Arscast and they were making fun of how ridiculous all this stuff is.
Yeah, you kind of have to laugh at it, really.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
And then worst part is they were going, oh, what's going to happen next? Is Odegaard going to just fall down a hole for Norway and we don't see him for 3 months? And they were making this gag throughout. And I was listening to it a day later going, this is bad juju.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing here.
Yeah.
But it's happened. And they kept saying, and then at the end of the podcast, they were like, and we'll see you at the weekend when Odegaard has probably been injured and we have no actual midfield for the North London derby.
Yeah.
And all the way through, I was thinking, I can't believe they're predicting this.
Yeah.
But it's the fact it's him.
Mm-hmm.
And then at that point, going into the England game last night, I was like, we just got to go through this England game with Rice and Saka. As long as they don't get hurt. And then Gabriel, I think, started for Brazil last night. He's made it through.
Yeah.
But everyone started to go, oh my God. So officially, the international break is over. It couldn't have really gone worse for Arsenal. Well, it could have. Everyone could have gone injured. But I mean, losing your captain, your number one playmaker, your number 10, your only number 10, and losing your new signing, Calafiori, to an injury, and losing your new signing, Moreno, just before the international break. It's gone as bad as I'd say is normal.
Yeah.
As like at the top end of ridiculous. But here we are.
I mean, sometimes when these things happen, you can rejig, come up with a new formation, a tactic, a style, fit new, different players in different positions. But ideally, you don't want these things to happen about to go into, like you said, a North London derby, a Champions League game, and Man City. Yeah. Like, this is not the time you don't want to do a practice run with a new formation and new players against Spurs.
No, when we looked at the start of the season, we looked at the first 6 games and kind of went, that's the hardest 6 games of the whole season.
Yeah.
And we knew that. We knew we had a hard start.
But we did well on the first part.
The first 2. That's the problem. Yeah. That's the annoying one. The Brighton one hurts even more. And the red card, last week I broke it down and we spoke about it. And it was obviously, I think the PGMO this week came out and said they fully stand behind the decision. They think it was the right decision.
Okay.
No one's disputing whether it was the right decision. We're disputing the consistency of that decision.
Yeah.
And the fact that the guy who whacked him didn't get sent off. Because again, like we said, we've seen all these videos now of the refs with same situations happening 2 years ago, and they're saying it's a clear red for the guy kicking because it doesn't matter if you nudge the ball away, you can't kick someone.
Yeah, you're saying, the decision's fair in the law, but
just do
it consistent everywhere.
My issue with it is, like we said last week, 10 other people did that exact thing of like kicking the ball away purposely, and then after every foul, people pick up the ball and run off with it.
Yeah.
Or they nudge it. We would have genuinely like 20 yellow cards per game, or 3 or 4 reds as well. We're not going to do that, so I don't understand why they decided to enforce it on that one occasion. But they did. Yeah. So, we win at home on the opening day. It was very solid. We went away to Villa. We won a game that we probably didn't deserve to, but it was huge that we did, especially now in hindsight.
Yeah.
Because around that time, we finished the transfer window.
Yeah.
And we knew we were a little light. Moreno was injured.
Yeah.
And we went into Brighton. We just had to get through Brighton. The red card definitely had a big say in the end result.
Yeah.
And we've ended up with a point. So we ended up with 7 from 9.
But saying that,
at the start of the season, if I'd looked at the first 3, not even the 6, I would have said 7 from 9.
Like a draw at Villa might have been fair.
Yeah.
And then a win with Brighton at home would have been fair. So I think it's game by game.
And I think when I looked at it, I went win, draw, loss, win.
Yeah.
So that would be 11 points from a possible 18.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, that makes sense. That's what I was kind of thinking, and that is, again, 11 from 18 doesn't sound great, but when it's as difficult as, for example, by the way, Brighton, massive bogey team at home for us.
They're very good at that as
And they're very good. Villa away from home, horrible team for us. Tottenham away, we have won there, but it's a derby you just don't know. City away, we don't win there. Leicester at home, we should win, and Wolves opening day, we should win. So when you look at it, you just kind of go, if we get 11 from 18, it's not the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
But if we want to challenge this year, we have to hit the 14 mark.
Yeah.
Which would basically mean we need to win one of those games. So ideally now you have to go beat Spurs, draw with City, and then beat Leicester. And I think if we can get through those 6 games with the injuries we've got,
Yeah.
and have 14, 15 points, then I think that's gangbusters. I think that's unbelievable.
You're on a roll.
But I'm fairly sure we're going to end up with about 11. And especially now,
Yeah.
with the injuries and stuff that's happened, we just got to not be under 10.
Yeah.
Because at the minute we're at 7, there's 9 more points available for this opening 6, and then pretty much we're going into another international break at that point.
Jeez.
And we've got to go away at Atalanta in the first Champions League game. We've got to go home to Bolton in the Carabao Cup. There's games like that we need to kind of sort. And again, there's little things. For example, Rice can't play the North London Derby, which means he's going to be extremely rested for Atalanta away, which we're going to need him. Another couple weird things that have happened, for example, that if anyone had said at the start of the season that we were going to have, I think we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 midfielders.
Yeah.
One of them being a youth player.
Yeah.
And 2 are injured and 1 suspended
Yeah.
of the 5.
That's not good.
But if I had said that to start the season after 3 games that would have happened, you would assume Thomas Partey was one of these injuries, right?
Yeah.
Thomas Partey has played the first 3 games of the season. He's never done that for Arsenal.
Yeah.
And he's also gone away with Ghana and played 180 minutes
Yeah.
this week, which is horrid because he's now got to come back to Arsenal and then probably play every single game again. And it's a matter of time until he goes down.
Yeah.
It might be halfway through the North London Derby, but it's self-made, this thinness by Arsenal. And again, the business was really smart, but it might have been a bit too smart. You know, it's like having a mansion, but there's no food in the fridge. That's what it kind of feels like. They've not thought about every aspect.
Yeah.
And the potential of injuries and stuff like that. Like, because that's why you keep Smith Rowe, or not Smith Rowe, but maybe Vieira.
Well, Sam Savini in the chat has said it makes Edu look awful for letting Vieira and Smith Rowe go and not replacing. I think he's well aware of that though, because he did come out and say, didn't he, right on the evening of the transfer window when it ended, that they didn't hit all their targets. They didn't do all the business they wanted to do, but they're very happy with who they have in house, and that shows in bringing Nweri through. They're hoping he plays a big part in this season, but hopefully positively on the silver lining. This is an opportunity for Nweri to show us something. So it does give us that extra option that we didn't realise we had all along. This is his opportunity. So you can there is hopeful positives to it. I know it looks awful right now, but if we can get through this next 3 games, get points, and Nweri plays minutes and does well, it shows that he has an opportunity to put his place on the team with that gap available.
Yeah.
And also, on a positive, this is being very positive because we are positively here. If we can get momentum going into Christmas, if Odegaard is back after Christmas, that makes us even stronger going into the end of the season. So all we got to do is make sure we put all our pieces together now, get some momentum, get what we can, and where he shines, let's say, and then we go through to the second half of the season.
Yeah, you could create more stars here almost by accident.
Yeah.
But if you could have 3 games where this kind of situation happened, and you want to bring a 16, 17-year-old through, who's clearly very talented.
Yeah.
I don't think you necessarily want his first week being the new Odegaard replacement to be
these games.
North London Derby away, Atalanta away, and City away. And again, we're going to get into what we think the team's going to be and kind of ways in which we can work around this. I think he's going to feature definitely this week.
Yeah.
There's no way he can't, I don't think, really. But I just want to shout out for X5 Alex encouraging more views by sharing it. I appreciate you very much on the TikTok.
Yeah.
But that's the bit I can't get my head around is you were saying about Edu and he didn't hit his targets. I know you have to sell to buy sometimes, especially with the FFP and all this kind of stuff. But it's like, if I went out to get caviar for dinner,
Yeah.
would I throw out my eggs in the fridge before I went out? And then come back and go, oh, I didn't get any caviar. I've got no dinner.
Yeah. True.
You know, there's got to be a backup. And Smith Rowe, I think we had to sell because we needed that pure profit. And he needs game time. Vieira one, I think we could have almost guaranteed him minutes.
Yeah.
For example, right now, he would be starting the next 3 games.
Yeah.
By the way, he's injured. He's gone to Porto and he's got injured. So maybe he wouldn't have been available. But do you know what I mean? Like, he's not the perfect situation. Obviously, he's gone on loan because Arteta doesn't trust him enough. And we saw last year he doesn't trust him enough to play him in games, let alone huge games.
Yeah.
But it just seemed a bit odd. The Smith Rowe one, I fully understand. You have to make the money to sell the money. The loan one is like, why did we need to get rid of him?
Yeah.
Because, by the way, Arsenal have 22 squad players this year. It is the lowest of every team in the Premier League.
Yeah.
From Southampton to Leicester to Forest to Chelsea,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
I think Arsenal have the same squad size as Chelsea's secondary team,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is how small it is.
Yeah.
So Chelsea have 2 of ours. We have this one. And, I mean, of the 22, Tomiyasu, Tierney, Calafiori, Moreno, Odegaard, Jesus are injured.
Yeah.
So that's 6. So that means there's 16 players left.
Yeah.
Rice is suspended.
Yeah.
We have 15 left.
Yeah.
We have the squad on the day is 21 players or 20 players, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because you have 9 subs or whatever. We have 15 players available this weekend. So therefore, Salah-Ad-Din, Lewis Skelly, these guys are going to have to be on the bench because there is no other players. And again, it's nice. You know when you play FIFA and you kind of get rid of your deadwood?
Yeah.
And you end up with this squad where you've got 7 on the bench, you've got 11 players, and there's no one else underneath.
Yeah.
And you're like, maybe I've gone a bit thin here.
Yeah.
And then you get an injury and you go, oh, God.
There it is.
That's what I feel like we've done. But I feel like that only ever happens when regular humans like ourselves are playing FIFA. Yeah, it's mad. Gareth the Basin says, anyone else remember when podcasts were not video recorded? We are not video recorded. We just do a live while we're recording. This is a pure audio. This is a pure audio podcast for iTunes and Spotify. But we just throw the live up so people can kind of get their opinions across, like this one from Raheem Sterling. Believe it or not, he says 3-1 Sunday to Arsenal. So Raheem, thank you very much.
Raheem Sterling is Tom.
Is it really? Okay. I thought it was actual Raheem Sterling. I thought that's confident.
Nah, it's Tom. And Tom said 3-1 on Sunday, so
that's very true.
It's 3-1 on Sunday.
George said, how bad is Odegaard's injury? That is the question. It could be 2 days. It could be 3 months. I really don't know. I'm erring towards we're not going to see him until minimum after the next international break.
Yee!
If I had to really guess, I'm going to guess January.
Yeah.
Because those ankles are just not right, are they? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, when they go, they go.
Yeah.
And they hold you up.
The problem is, as well, is does this become reoccurring now? That's the big problem. I saw the player that was involved in it has apologised.
Yeah.
But I don't think I really don't think it was malicious in any way. It's just random, like the Calafiori one. It's a total bizarre accident.
Yeah. But fair play to the professionalism to apologise, because he knows as a top level player like what that costs that player a lot of time.
Yeah.
Costs the team a lot of time.
He showed a lot more respect than the Norway coach. If you saw that interview,
I didn't see that.
He basically said, "Yeah, it looks bad," and they were like, "How bad?" And he goes, "Yeah, he's not good. He can't stand on it. It's huge." And they're like, "Okay, cool." And he said, "These things happen, so you know, whatever." And they were like, "Oh, okay." And he said, "I don't think Mikel Arteta is going to be happy about it." It's like belly laughing.
I'm gonna guess that's because Arteta's probably been on his case that week.
Maybe I don't know, but the way in which he said it, I was just like, "Yeah, like." You're not worried because you're probably not going to play him at the next international break.
It doesn't matter, yeah.
But he needs him for next year.
Yeah.
But the guy who's going to get sacked if he doesn't get results,
and the team
he's going to be really stressed.
And the team that pays all his wages and invested a lot of time and money in him.
Yeah. In 1875, mentioned last stream, no depth for Odegaard, and now this happens exactly. I think we're the makers of our own demise, and then the stuff happened. It's just mad. User said can tell neither of these have ever played the game.
Oh, we have.
Well, you know, you're right. We've never played. It's just one of the things I thought as well this week was Cole Palmer was training with Chelsea yesterday.
Yeah.
not on English duty because he was pulled for injury, but he was training with Chelsea. Phil Foden pulled by Chelsea, by City. And you start to look around and you go, oh, we're the only ones that aren't doing this.
Yeah.
And I mean, what if we had pulled Odegaard, who, by the way, went off injured in the Brighton game, but still went away to Norway?
So he was carrying something.
He was carrying a knock already. Had
And
to
we
go
all
off
know
injured.
Saka's always carrying something. As well.
Saka needs a rest. Rice openly said after the Ireland game, I haven't been fit yet because I haven't had a rest.
Yeah.
But still, he had to play 2 games.
Yeah.
Rice played 90 minutes twice, I believe.
Yes.
And again, I know he's not needed in North London Derby, but I mean, he's going to go and get a 6-day rest.
Yeah.
Until we have to play Atalanta or whatever. 7-day rest. I don't know why we don't pull players, because this is what happens. You know, when we've got Gabriel going over to South America and all this, and today's Wednesday.
Yeah.
A lot of these players will be getting back today. Half of them. The other half, people like Gabriel now, with time zones, all that, he's not going to be back till Thursday evening.
Yeah. Jet lagged.
We're playing Sunday.
Yeah.
Now he's back Thursday evening. And he trains Friday. And then he has to go get ready for the game. It just seems very... These international breaks, I swear they didn't used to do them this often.
No.
And the fact that we're doing it so regularly, just like it's in a few weeks. There's another one. There's another one.
It is
March.
It's too much football. I know a lot of people would laugh at that because of how paid they are. And
I want to watch football every 3 days. That's like, as a football fan, I want to watch Arsenal play every 3 days. But I don't want the football to suffer, because we remember how bad COVID football was and stuff like that. 1875 says Saka's permanent limp is legendary. It is.
It is.
I tell you what he has. He has Achilles tendonitis. And I've talked about this before. I have Achilles tendonitis from years of football. It is the worst pain. And I limp everywhere I go.
Yeah.
And then if I have to wrestle or do anything like we do like normally, I'm fine. But the minute it stops, I'm limping again because it's just pain. For example, Christian McCaffrey, CMC, San Francisco 49ers, missed a game for just tendonitis.
Yeah.
The pain of the tendonitis.
Yeah.
But the limp is legendary. It's definitely up there. But yeah, I don't know. I just look around and people are pulling their players and they're kind of being smart about it.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how badly this went, that one in the 3-4 weeks, that Arteta's not going. Because we almost had the perfect opportunity. Because Odegaard went off injured.
Yeah.
He could have easily said, oh, he needs to stay behind to be assessed.
Yeah.
And then give him 5 days off. And then, because he played, by the way, 3. He didn't just play. He got injured when? Monday night, was it?
Yes.
He played Saturday as well.
I feel like Arteta's the kind of guy, though, that would make that point. Of all the managers, I feel like he's someone that would try to make contact with the teams and say, look, this guy needs to stay behind. I can't understand that he wouldn't.
Yeah.
And judging by the Norway coach's response, tells me he's had conversations with Arteta.
But he was laughing about it.
Yeah, but I feel like it's because he's had conversations with Arteta and he said, no, we need him. And
why would you laugh about it when your Norway's captain,
Arsenal's
captain, has now got a serious injury and might miss not just Norway games, Arsenal games, everything.
Yeah.
It's just mad. I just think we've got to get smart to that. And I can't imagine, like I said, how bad this has gone. The one in the 3 or 4 weeks' time. There's no way he's not pulling people. And like I said, Wenger, I think, or no, Pep does it. Some of the top players sit down on like 88 minutes when they've won a game 3-0, the one before the international, and they all go, I've got an injury. And then 3 days later, they give him 3 days off, and then they start training again.
Yeah.
And they go, he actually, it wasn't as bad as we thought. We need to do that. And we had the perfect opportunity with Odegaard. He went off injured. I think Saka went off near the end of that game.
Yeah, he did.
It's like, both of them, you could have come out and said, yeah, unfortunately, they're both hurt.
Yeah.
And their countries would have been fine.
Yeah.
And again, Saka didn't get hurt, touch wood. But I don't know. I think we just got to get smart. And I think we might have learned from this one, because you can't mount a challenge when you're doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because we don't have the depth, like I said. And I had this conversation with a friend of the show, Elton Prince, last night, where he said about the injuries and how ridiculous they are. And he was like, you kind of got to, if you want to be champs, you kind of got to work through this type of stuff. You do.
Yeah.
Like City last year Liverpool won a Carabao Cup or something. Was it Carabao? Yeah. With kids.
Yeah. They
were in a title challenge for half the season with like 17-year-olds.
Yeah.
We have to do it. And again, I think Simon Miller, again, host of the show, he mentioned he nearly like ate his radio the other day because Troy Deeney was on there saying Arsenal got a couple injuries. They've been lucky for 2 years. Yeah. Now they got to deal with it. We haven't been lucky. We weren't Liverpool, but I mean Saliba.
Yeah, big.
run in.
Yeah.
We had Zinchenko half a season. Jesus, 2 halves of seasons, twice. Martinelli half a season. Partey whole season. Timber whole season. Now we've got Calafiori, Moreno, Odegaard. Just generally over the last 2 years, it's
definitely plagued us.
Yeah, it's plagued us more than I think people realise in key positions.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, it's not an excuse because, like I said,
No.
when we used to get loads of injuries like Man United, hence the doctor,
Yeah.
we were told every year, you can't. Injuries are no excuse. Injuries are no excuse. Now, when teams like United, Liverpool get injuries, everyone's like, yeah, but they had a lot of injuries. It's like, no, you can't use it both ways.
Yeah.
It's either injuries are an excuse or injuries aren't an excuse, and we have to now make do with what we've got.
Yes.
And we've purposely made ourselves this thin. We obviously the fact that they promoted Lewis Skelly and Ethan Wary and put Smith Rowe and Vieira out of the club tells me they trust them more than they trusted them.
Yes.
And how thin it is means that they know, they looked at it and went, what if Odegaard gets injured for the season? Are you happy? And he's gone, yeah. Again, he doesn't expect Moreno, Odegaard and Rice to be suspended. No. But he must feel confident with the squad he has.
Yeah.
Because I don't think at that level you would offload that much.
No.
If you didn't really, really trust that next batch.
Especially when you know you've got to compete at the level you've got to compete at with City. Like we've said loads of times, you have to be damn near perfect to win this league now.
Yeah.
But I think Elton Prince, I think he's correct. You do have to adapt if you want to be great. I think you can't make excuses because Man City get it done. I think at this level, if you want to get it done, you've got to be prepared and you've got to get it done. Regardless of what happens, you've got to make it happen.
That's what he said the same, and we kind of had our first big argument. It wasn't, but we said, because he said, I said something like, I think before the way in which we did business and we created all this FFP room, but we didn't fill it because our main targets weren't done.
Yeah.
So obviously they're pushing that to next year.
Yeah.
The fact that it's Pep's last run, potentially it looks like now Haaland's just signed a new deal. Yeah. Pep might be. Maybe it's not, but it felt like it's Pep's last year.
Yeah.
At Liverpool, they brought in a nondescript manager who's going to not change anything from Klopp and allow the big boys like Van Dijk, Salah, Trent, all these guys in their last dance, like Michael Jordan style, go out and do what they do for one more year.
And they seem to be.
Yeah, and they are. And I think they looked at that and went, we're not going to win the league this year because we can't get... Oh, if we got our main targets, maybe.
Yeah.
But like I said, I've said this many times, and I said this to... Because basically what Lewis said back was, tell Pep you can't challenge year on, year out. Because I said, I think we're going top 4 in a cup.
Yeah.
And I said, but they illegally manufactured a squad that can go year in, year out.
Yeah.
And it's not legal to do that. It's not humanly possible without breaking the rules to create a squad of 26 first-teamers who are on 300 to 400 grand a week, break the rules all those years to create an atmosphere and a team that wins stuff to attract the biggest players.
Yeah.
That's how they do it year on, year out. That's why Man United won it 3 years running, and that was unbelievable. Whereas City, this year will be 6 times in 7 years.
Yeah.
That's not happened before.
A normal team can't make that happen.
No. And that's what, and the people, because he said, well, tell Klopp that. And I said, well, Klopp never challenged year on, year out.
No.
He
had one in there?
Well, no, he had 7 years. He won 1 league, but he would challenge, come second, come fourth. Challenge, come second, come fourth.
Yeah.
Come first, come fourth. Come third. Because you can't do it year on, year out. We've done it 2 years running where we've pushed them to limit 2 years. Not as much as Liverpool. Liverpool went to the hundreds and still didn't win the league.
It's like trying to compete with an athlete when you know the other athlete is on all the steroids. You're not willing to take them. And the one with the steroids is just keeps going. No recovery, no nothing. Just win.
And the one time Klopp did beat him was there was no people in the crowd.
Yeah.
It was a different year.
Yeah.
And City come fourth. They didn't even come second.
Yeah.
So it just, I don't think it's possible for clubs to actually compete year on, year out. Yeah. And I think maybe Arsenal are looking at that. And again, I don't think anyone as a competitor like Arteta or the team, they're not looking at it going, oh, I think we'll just take 4th in the cup this year. They're looking to win the league. But I think just by proxy and by the fact that they're human, there's going to be a drop off at some point. And I think this is it because we didn't get our targets. The squad is thin. We've already got a few injuries.
Yeah.
We've already had a weird start. Maybe it is one of those years where you go, do you know what, let's put all our eggs in the Carabao Cup and the Champions League and these things. Because that's what Liverpool did. When they weren't challenging, what did they do? Champions League final. when they didn't challenge Champions League win.
Yeah.
You know, Carabao Cups, FA Cups, they just pick up cups. And I don't think that should be the intention, but it might, like, you know, you shoot for the moon, you land in the stars. I think it's one of them. Like, we're still going to try and win the league, I'm sure. But it wouldn't be the worst year to kind of just have a natural dip. Again, I'd rather come first or second again and do it again next year and the year after. But I just don't know if that's a real thing that exists, because eventually it's all going to go pop.
Yeah.
They're going to be leggy. There's going to be injuries, and then the manager's going to get sacked. Players will leave, and we'll just come sixth again.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There is a lot to that I don't. You know, that's just based on full opinion of just watching.
Yeah.
I have no clue. You know, you could talk to Klopp and be like, "Oh, that was my fault that we fell off each year.
Yeah.
It wasn't an energy thing." And I don't know. I don't know enough. But it just seems like when you look across the board, I mean, Man United were winning 3 in a row. Arsenal came second 2 of them, but not 3 of them.
Yeah.
Because it's not possible to push that hard. And again, Man United managed to do it.
Yeah.
But momentum is also another thing. So City have got kind of an unfair advantage and momentum. So I don't know. There just seems like...
What would you take right now if I said to you, fast forward to the end of the season?
Oh, I said this at the start of last season. I said I'd take a cup. I wanted the Carabao Cup, a Champions League round, the top 4.
Yeah.
And that was because the first year we challenged for the league,
Yeah.
we didn't expect it.
No.
And we assumed it wouldn't happen again.
Yeah.
We didn't know we were really going to challenge last year. And
Probably,
also at the start of the season, we looked really average.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, I would, right now, obviously, I want to win the Premier League.
Yeah, but let's say we get another run in similar to last season. No, I'm not talking the end of the season. I'm talking like we're 3 games from the end and we're still kind of in it, but chances are we might come second again, probably. Or you take 4th place and you win, I'm going to say, the FA Cup, and you go to a Champions League final. So you have all that excitement of you get the cup, you go to a Champions League final, you enjoy that experience. You also enjoy the experience of a run-in, but chances are you're going to come second. Would you take that right now?
I think so, because I really, I don't see City or Liverpool losing games.
Yeah.
Especially, obviously, City. It's tough to kind of get, you know, I used to say even to our Liverpool friends, that like Liverpool fan friends, I don't know how they did it like mentally every year. Like, you're like, oh, here we go again. And then you just come up short and you're like, it's going to, like, you couldn't be, because it's almost a frustration, isn't it? Like, if you draw a game 0-0 but you create no chances, you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
If you draw 0-0 but you've hit the post 9 times, you're like, what could have been? Liverpool were hitting like 190 plus points.
Yeah.
And not winning the league.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they were the years that we were supposed to win the league, but there was this random other team.
Yeah.
And I feel like that with Arsenal the last 2 years is any other year we win the league those 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
And we win 2 in a row and everyone goes, Arsenal going for a third. But it's this weird team that are just above everyone.
Yeah.
But the frustration and the asterisk that goes with it is the fact that we know it's not legal how they are doing that.
Yeah.
And it is right now. But I mean, like I said, if they'd done things correctly, they would now be kind of reaching that point where they were winning leagues, not winning leagues after 4 years of ownership, and then winning enough of them and bringing in the best manager, because the best manager only came there because he realised, oh, they're really good. They've already won the league. The players are really good, and they have a load of money.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have done that if they couldn't have won the league yet.
Yeah.
Pep wouldn't have joined City if they'd never won the league.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all these things that kind of back up on each other, it's very frustrating. It's up there. So I think like football's all about winning cups and stuff like that. We have only won the FA Cup and the Community Shield under Arteta.
Yeah. In the early days.
Yeah, and again we won the Community Shield last year, but to win a real Carabao, FA Cup or Champions League is so important.
I'm going to say, even though it's
because otherwise you are Poch.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, he's already done more than Poch because he's come second more.
Well, we're actually competing. Like, it's not a one-off. It's not a fluke.
It's competing. We haven't gone to a Champions League final, of course, and we've also won an FA Cup and been in Community Shield. Tottenham haven't even been in Community Shields because they have never been close enough to the fire. So
I'm going to say it is frustrating. Let's say season in, season out, we keep doing the run-in, but we come up short. It is frustrating not to win, but I do enjoy that run-in. Regardless of how it ends, I do enjoy that journey, knowing we are in the fight. So even if we compete, let's say, for the next 2-3 seasons, and we come up short each season, as long as we're in the race right up to the end, I still enjoy that ride. I know it's frustrating when we don't win it.
I think the best thing for me as a fan is I like week on week enjoying the actual football.
Yeah.
That I mean, that like we win 80% of the time.
Yeah.
The football's decent to good to very good.
Yeah.
I like the players. One thing as a fan you have to do is you have to watch your team every 3 days.
Yeah.
If you hate watching your team, it's the worst. Because we've hated watching our team but won an FA Cup and it didn't feel half as good as coming second twice.
Yeah.
Because it's just nice to be like, oh, we're actually good.
Well, that's the longest part, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like week in, week out for 38
Do you want
games.
one good day or do you want 50 good days in a season?
I'll take the journey over the destination.
Well, that's why I got so frustrated with the Rice red card, because I was enjoying that game. We were playing well, and then that happened, and you had to just kind of take your medicine and watch the rest, and then we drew. And it was just like, you knew we couldn't really play our style.
No.
And the thing is now, it's like, I love watching Arsenal. I know I can't enjoy the next 3 games because they're awfully horrid games. They're all away from home, and we aren't at full strength.
Yeah.
So it's like, I know we're going into a game that we're going to go, oh, we got 5 at the back, and we're not actually trying to get out.
Yeah.
And we did it against City last year where we just actively didn't try and play football. We just sat back. We're going to do that 3 times this week.
Yeah.
And I don't... And again, it takes me back to why I'd rather maybe come second than be awful but win an FA Cup is, like Man United, is I don't even want to do the week of watching 3 bad games.
Yeah.
Even though after that it's probably going to get better again.
Yeah.
Because that frustrates me.
Yeah.
So let alone 38 bad games, but you win half of them.
Yeah.
So that's the sad part about it all. It's because like the fans kind of... And again, it's the same reason why it all goes back, doesn't it? Is when the players get injured, the team are worse, but also the paying fans are not getting the full product and things like that. And again, these things happen in football, but when it happens in internationals or in ways in which could be kind of avoided, it's very frustrating as a fan. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to head in towards the Prediction League. The one thing... Yeah, Matt, I just saw that HK... Man City are buying Musiala next year, and it looks like Haaland's re-signed and Pep might re-sign.
Oh my god.
So basically, they'll replace De Bruyne with Musiala, and they'll carry on doing what they're doing.
When are these charges getting sorted?
October or November.
Okay. So we'll know more by Christmas.
The fact that Leicester have just appealed and won their point deduction might also be their way of getting everyone ready for how City are going to appeal and win. Again, I don't know how you win 60 versions of what Leicester did.
Yeah.
And the fact that there's proof in these emails that they were lying.
Yeah.
They have to get something.
It's definitely happened, so...
But it could also be that everyone's agreeing to be like... They might even know what the punishment will be, and it might be 25-point deduction. City are like, well, we're not going to win the league this year. Yeah. But as long as we play well and win, we're not going to get relegated. But could we still make Europe? Yeah. And then next year you just carry on as normal. Because the worst thing we want is Man City in the league next year with no Europe. Yeah. More players. It'd be even harder. But the Prediction League is next. Last week, I think I didn't give you the results. But last week, I got 3. Joe got 4. Simon got 6.
Wow.
So it's flipped. And you and Simon are on 14 after 3. Okay. And I'm on 13.
Okay.
So it's pretty tight. But this week, I think what we'll do is... We'll run through all the games, minus the North London derby, and we'll finish with team news, what we think, all that, and the team news. And because I'll say this to start it, we're both going Arsenal to beat Spurs, yeah?
Oh yeah. Are we doing scores, or are we just doing?
Nah, it's
okay.
I'll go with Tom 3-1.
That's fair.
But I've gone. That's the result, but we'll come back to that game at the end.
Okay.
And we'll skip over it. So. First match is Saints versus Man United at midday on Saturday.
That's an old school vibe.
And that screams. Man United's next 2 games are Saints away and Palace away. Okay. Having lost to Brighton away and lost at home to Liverpool. Woo! Ten Hag, I think Goldbridge said it, if Ten Hag loses this one against Saints, that might be him. Yeah. Because I think Saints are potentially the worst team in the league.
It seems that way so far.
Potentially, yeah. It's hard to tell so far. Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? With a couple of the teams. But I think when you look at it, you go, do you know what? They might be the worst. Yeah. But I'll say this. They do have a nice atmosphere down there.
Yeah. They'll be up for it.
They will. There'll be an energy coming off that international break. 90% of their players didn't go away on international duty. Man United did. Yeah.
They didn't pick up any injuries, did they?
No. But Man United are just... There's still no play, and I this is done to death by Carragher and Neville and all this. There is no style of play, and if they win that, they'll win it, and we'll go, I don't know how they won it, but they won it. Yeah. And I don't know what Southampton's style of play is really, But it screams a Saints win.
Okay.
But like I said all last year, anytime it was Palace away or Saint, like that type of game, I would go against Man United. But they were the ones they would win.
Yeah.
It's Saints at Old Trafford they would lose 1-0.
Yeah.
So it's very odd. So my head is telling me Man United.
Okay.
But my heart is saying Saints.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go... I'll just go Man United.
Okay.
But it feels like a Saints win.
Your judgment of head one way, heart the other has kind of led to what I think's going to happen, and I think it'll be a draw. Mm-hmm. I think Saints will grind out a draw against Man United.
And I'll say it now, I think next week against Palace, Man United will lose.
Yeah.
HK in the chat says Man United play like Sam Allardyce star Bolton. It honestly, it's so confusing. We got Adam in here as well saying, boys, if Odegaard don't play, we might not beat Spurs. Hello from Julia.
Hello.
I think it says Julia. My eyes are not good from it.
Yeah, it is.
Good morning from Jason as well. Everyone's joining the chat here. We've spoken a lot about the Odegaard one. We're going to get onto North London Derby after we've ran through these games. But we are going with a Saints draw Man United, and I'm going with a Man United win.
Yep.
But my heart is telling me Saints. Anyway, the next game is Brighton Ipswich. There is a cluster of 3 o'clockers. Brighton obviously going like gangbusters. Ipswich has shown nice spells.
Yeah.
I think this is a Brighton win all day.
Yeah,
I think they've got that a little bit too much.
I'm going to go the same. Brighton, they got some good momentum and they look strong. So I think they're just going to continue this form. I think they might drop off later in the year, maybe at some point. But I think at the minute they're going to keep going strong and Brighton are going to win that.
And I've gone right off that manager, I say that. The next game is Palace at home to Leicester. Another one, I think this is a home win. I think Eze looked really sharp for England. Eze might be... I think Eze realistically should have 5 goals in the Premier League. He has 1.
Yeah.
When you watch them, he is constant. If you're a bet responsibly gambler, he has 3 or 4 shots on target every game.
Yeah.
He creates 3 or 4 chances. It's a matter of time until Eddie Nketiah starts playing.
Yeah. And
Mateta is playing at full fitness.
Yeah.
Eze's going to have assists and goals galore. If you're doing fantasy football, get Eze in your team. Sophie is in the chat. Hello.
Hey, Sophie.
And from Adam, Eze is so underrated. I fully agree.
Yeah.
But I'm going Palace over Leicester.
I'm going to quickly say about Eze as well. If you were to bet responsibly, even if you didn't do shots on target for Eze, his shot attempts in general are nuts. Yeah. Like, even if he's hitting them wide, whatever it is, he has a lot of goes at goal. Yeah. So if you're just putting Eze shots, that's a great bet. I'm going to go draw. Okay. I think Leicester will force a draw with Palace there.
Yeah, Palace aren't the strongest team.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they do really interesting stuff with Rob Holding this week as well. He's deleted everything. Palace have got rid of anything Rob Holding, stopped following him on socials.
Okay.
He's got rid of all his Palace stuff. And the manager was asked about it. He basically said, we've had a conversation, and basically he's just not going to play for Palace again. I don't know what's gone on. No one knows what's gone on. I know Arsblog reached out to the Palace correspondents. They don't know what's gone on. But he is not involved. Weird. He's not training with them.
Yeah. Don't
know. And he's quite a mild-mannered human.
Yeah.
Don't really know what's going on there. Sophie in the chat, she's always in here. Thank you so much. She said, how are you both? We are good. If you're wondering why we're in a bedroom, I know if you listen to us on iTunes and Spotify, we've mentioned this a lot of times.
I have not broken my ribs again.
He's not broken his ribs, but this little guy sleeping, this dog, Luca, he gets anxiety when we leave the room, and we're the only people in the house. So we're in this room to keep him comfortable. So he doesn't bark all the way through the podcast, so your ear holes don't hurt. Jason says, I fancy Leicester to get something like this weekend. And that is what Joe's going with as well.
Yeah.
The next game is Fulham versus West Ham.
That's fun.
That is a good London derby. Fulham, I really like Fulham.
And this is a 3 o'clocker, so it's not on TV.
No, yeah. And West Ham, this is their Super 11.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Jason says, looking very seductive this morning. I appreciate you, Jason. Yeah, Sophie. Yeah, he gets really anxiety. Big anxiety if you kind of shut doors, because he's a rescue dog. We work at an animal rescue.
Yeah.
We've talked about this on the podcast before. He's from the rescue. He has 3 dogs from the rescue. He gets anxiety with like barriers. So like if you shut a gate, things like he gets really sad because obviously he's been in kennels and barns and left for long periods of time. Not by us, obviously before he got to the rescue.
Yeah.
So he's got a bit of anxiety. Yeah, West Ham Super 11. We haven't. I've not been impressed with West Ham Super 11 because everyone's told me they won the transfer window,
Yeah.
and I don't see it. Whereas Fulham, I thought were really smart with like Smith Rowe. They brought in Nelson. Are we going to see a bit of Nelson?
Yeah. Fulham are strong.
Yeah, I Traore started properly
Yeah.
for the first time in forever. I'm going to go draw because I really don't know how to call that.
Okay.
What do you think?
I'm going to go Fulham win.
Okay.
I was going to go, I think, a lot of draws this week, but I'm going to go Fulham win for that one.
Okay. And the next one is the most foregone conclusion you're seeing. It's Liverpool versus Forest. Jason in the group has said, I didn't know you worked at a rescue. Absolutely love that. Yeah, we work in animal rescue. It's mainly a dog shelter. Many Tiers Animal Rescue in... Where's that? Where would you say that is? It's near Swansea.
It's just outside Carmarthen.
Yeah, Carmarthen-ish area. And in the chat, HK says West Ham will flop. Yeah, that Super 11 isn't so super at the minute.
Yeah.
But the next one is no point talking about Liverpool versus Forest. Get your Liverpool players in your fantasy team because they are gonna hurt Forest physically.
I got 3 free transfers on my fantasy, and I'm trying to figure out how to get some.
You gotta get them in, Joe.
I've got no Liverpool players.
Oh, I've had Salah since the get go. We've got a puzzle on TikTok.
They like to keep us busy.
I've verified it. I'm human. Thank you, HK. So I put you down for Liverpool, yeah?
I'm going to go Liverpool.
Yeah.
I know we're not doing scores, but I'm going to say like 4-0 probably.
Okay. Man City versus Brentford. When I think of this game, I think of Brentford winning it with Ivan Toney in the 90-something minute. My hair is out of control. I do apologise for the chat.
We've got to keep those necks warm going into this Welsh winter.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just reading that last message. Arsenal are finished, not going to lie. I don't know with this one. I really like the look of Brentford, and Buemo and Wissa look sharp.
Yeah.
And City, even with Ipswich at home, conceded.
Yeah.
If you don't score early and you don't anger them,
Yeah.
Brentford have an ability to be able to hold on and score in 60 minutes and really make them nervous.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with my heart. I'm going to go draw. But realistically, it's going to be a City win all day. But I mean, I got to try something. Do you know what I mean? I've got to put something out there. Draw at Brentford from HK. We agree.
I'm going to go City win.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think you probably win that one, Joe.
my heart's telling me it's a draw.
Yeah.
But I've somehow ended up going slightly different to you this week, which could make it very interesting going forward.
And the 5:30 game on Sky is Villa versus Everton.
Villa Everton.
And that's screaming Onana scoring against his former team.
Yeah.
Everton are so bad. They were 2-0 up against Bournemouth on 88 minutes.
Yeah.
And they lost 3-2.
Yeah. No, I think Villa will be too much for Everton.
Yeah.
Though. I think that's a Villa win all day. And finally, Watkins getting some goals for my fantasy football as well would be nice.
Yeah. I've had Onana since the start of the season. Very happy with it.
Yeah.
Hossam has asked what our midfield for Spurs is. In 2 games' time of predictions, we're going to get onto North London Derby and talk about our midfield.
Yay!
The 8 o'clock game
8 o'clock on a Saturday.
going head to head with Strictly Come Dancing, is Bournemouth versus Chelsea.
Okay.
See, I think that's a really interesting game. I think Chelsea's attack is clicked enough to win that away from home.
Yeah, I think Chelsea are finally reaching their potential FC that we talk about a lot.
Yeah. Chelsea 10-0 from Hossam.
Do you know what? 8 o'clock on a Saturday night, I'm going to put a draw.
Really?
Yeah, I think there'll be some goals. I think it'll be like a 3-3 or something.
Arsenal, obviously, North London Derby is the 2 o'clock fixture for Sunday. But the Super Sunday is so super this week. It is Wolves Newcastle. It's not the most exciting game.
I tell you what, it might be okay though. Are we on TV?
I think Newcastle win that, by the way. Arsenal?
Yeah.
The North London Derby?
It is, right?
Yeah, 2 o'clock.
Okay, I might have to come around for that.
I'm going to feel sick during it.
So we're going Wolves.
Lissy's
Newcastle.
getting back that day as well, and I don't want her to get back during it.
Oh, yeah.
Because that would really stress me out.
2 o'clock.
Because you have to kind of get the bags in and say hello and do all that. And I don't think I can have that happen during that game because that game stresses me too much.
You might have to organise that.
I'm going to have to organise that she's home an hour before lineups are announced because there's going to be a whole meltdown after the lineup.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm going Newcastle over Wolves, Jade, because we need to move on to North London.
I'm going to go... I've got a lot of draws today, and this is telling me draw again.
Okay.
But I'm going to go Newcastle.
Oh.
I'm going to go Newcastle.
Isaac Brace there. So that is our predictions. We've both got Arsenal to win the North London Derby, but we're going to get into North London Derby now.
Yeah.
to kind of finish the episode. Gunners are us, iTunes and Spotify. What we got? Trossard, Sterling, and Havertz scoring the goals from Raheem Sterling,
Tom.
aka Tom, for the 3-1 win.
That's what it is then.
I think we can. I think there's two ways of looking at it. I've seen people say that we're going to have to play Partey. Again, the fit midfielders we have to fit 3 players, okay?
Yeah.
So this is if we can break this down. We have Partey, Jorginho, Nweri. That's the 3 midfielders we have available. So people would say they're the 3 players you have to play.
Yeah.
Because that's the only players. I don't think Jorginho or Partey should be playing left 8.
No.
Jorginho's played left 8 a couple of times. When Rice has played 6, they've kind of switched. And it's been fine. Partey and Jorginho cannot play 90 minutes.
No.
So at some point, and you can't also have a 17-year-old as the main playmaker. You can, but you'd want him in a team that has Odegaard and Rice also in it.
Bit of help around.
Helping.
Yeah.
And again, Jorginho and Partey, these aren't bad players.
Yeah.
But at 60 minutes, when you go, do you know what? The 17-year-old can't stay on. The 32-year-old can't stay on. The injury-prone 31-year-old can't stay on.
Yeah.
You can't change all 3 because there's no other midfielders.
Yeah.
So 2 of these are going to have to play the whole game. So the only way I see it is Havertz is going to have to play midfield.
Yeah, we're going to have to...
we all agree on that.
Yeah, we'll have to tweak it about a little bit.
Yeah, Havertz is going to have to play midfield. And Jesus has been injured. There's talk that he's trained a bit. But if we just imagine Jesus isn't there.
Yeah.
Havertz is going to play in Odegaard's position as the right 8/10. I think that's a definite. Mm-hmm. You can then play Partey and Jorginho.
Yeah.
And if Jorginho gets tired, you bring in Nweri.
Yeah.
And Nweri plays with Havertz and Partey. But this is guaranteeing that Partey has to play 90 minutes. Because if Partey goes down injured at that point, after you take Jorginho off, I don't know who can play there.
Timber?
He's not a 6, though.
No, but
as much as we kind of want him to.
I think he can play there, though.
It's Arsenal heritage to want a centre-back to play midfield. And I know that. And we've all said Chambers and Holding and all these people.
Yeah.
There's another option. Zinchenko plays left 8 for Ukraine.
Yeah.
And Halkir has said that in the TikTok. That is a possibility, but we've had times where he could have done that and he hasn't done it. But the fact that people invert in that position, like we have Timber sitting in that position all game, makes you think that could happen.
Yeah.
As long as you give him protection.
Yeah.
So for me, I think the options are, we don't know what Calafiori's injury is, so we're going to have to pretend that that's an injury.
Yeah.
Because he might be available. If he's available, it gives us more options. Because you could play him left back and Timber could be in the middle.
Yeah.
Maybe. With Partey. Or Jorginho. Or whatever it is. But when you think about it, we play a very different style, but Liverpool used to have a midfield of Henderson, Milner and Wijnaldum.
Yeah. Engines.
And I mean, that feels a lot like, almost like a Timber, Partey, Havertz midfield, doesn't it? Like kind of random.
Yeah.
But if you imagine Calafiori's injured, Jesus is injured, Moreno's injured, Odegaard's injured, and Rice is suspended, I would say it's David Raya, right back Ben White, Saliba Gabriel, left back Timber, Partey, Jorginho left 8, Havertz right 8.
Yep.
And then I think you might see Trossard as the number 9.
Yeah.
With Martinelli and Saka.
Yeah.
Or Saka and Sterling.
Yeah.
Because the thing with Sterling is Sterling and Martinelli have been training this whole time. Mm-hmm. Trossard's been training. So at least those guys have not left. They've been getting connection with Sterling.
Yeah.
So in some capacity, that is, probably because Sterling's new, you play Martin and Saka on the sides.
Yeah.
And Trossard as the 9. Trossard has a great track record at number 9.
Does.
And I don't think that team's that bad.
No, it's good. It's good.
Obviously,
if that was our actual team, I'd be quite
Yeah.
chuffed.
Havertz is not Odegaard in that position. We've seen that Havertz doesn't play great in midfield.
It's not his prime.
But he plays in a way in which it's like hard work.
Yeah.
It's not that creative. But if you could think of him flicking on balls to Trossard and stuff, that's a different style. And also, we've seen Havertz play in this position instead of Odegaard a couple of times, and he's actually been very good.
Yeah.
It's when he's playing with Odegaard it's the problem.
Yeah.
Because he has to do the Rice role. Whereas when Havertz is a bit higher up the field and a bit more playmaking,
Yeah.
it's where he played for Leverkusen.
Yeah.
And that's where he was best.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Get it out.
Yeah, that cough is not going away. So Havertz in that position, I think, is good.
Yeah.
The front three is fine.
Yeah.
The only worry is obviously Jorginho in that 8. where we expect Rice to usually cover athletically for Partey,
He covers a lot of ground, Rice, usually, yeah.
and Jorginho cannot cover any ground. Whereas a young Ethan Nweri might be able to.
Yeah.
So I think the options are that exact team I just said, but you might do Nweri for Jorginho.
Mm-hmm.
And you have Havertz, Nweri, and Partey.
Yeah.
But that's the main one. The left field option is Arteta goes back to his roots of joining Arsenal, where he didn't have the team he needed, and he played 5 at the back.
Okay.
And what you could do is play Timber left back. You play White, Gabriel, and Saliba in the middle. Right back is Saka. And then you play Jorginho and Partey double pivot.
Yeah.
And then you play Havertz up front.
Yeah.
Fully.
Yeah.
And you have Trossard and Sterling as your wingers.
Okay.
But in a 5 at the back, where Saka and Timber would be the high ones.
Yeah.
Sterling and Trossard would play narrow.
Yeah.
So there'd be like 2 number 10s behind Havertz, but you'd have a double pivot and you'd have the wide wingers.
Yeah.
I think that's a real option. Again, if that is a real option, I think your best bet of doing that is to play Calafiori at the left wing back.
If we can.
If he's available. Because I don't think Timber is a left wing back.
No.
I think Timber would come on for Ben White
Yeah.
later in the game to take over that right centre back
Yeah.
kind of role.
Yeah.
Or Saka could go up front with Sterling or with Trossard, and Sterling goes off maybe. And the right back becomes Ben White. He pushes out or something like that.
Yeah.
Or Calafiori comes on late or something like that. But I think this 5 at the back with the double pivot might be the best way to make it work.
I like that.
Yeah, because essentially it's that big 5, the 2 bases, Havertz up top, and Sterling and Trossard are inverted wingers.
It's very secure but very attacking at the same time.
Because when you defend, you drop into a 5,
Yeah.
straight 5, and then the 2 pivots would drop into the middle, and then Trossard and Sterling would drop in.
Yeah.
So it'd be like a 5-4-1.
I like this.
But yeah, so I think that's
I like
an option.
this specifically for those 3 games as well. I like these options. I think that's good. It's strong. It's attacking. We get to see Sterling, hopefully.
And again, there's a couple of people that play really nicely in those positions, like Ben White and Calafiori can play left and right wing backs.
Yeah.
But Saka and Martinelli have also done it.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd trust Martinelli because Saka has done it.
Done it well.
And he's done it in the Euros to a final this year. But people like Calafiori are unbelievable in that role.
Yeah.
And I think almost going in with the mentality of we're down bad. We've got all these suspensions and injuries. We need to just create stuff.
Especially if going forward there's no Odegaard as well. I think that kind of sets you up for a new tactic that could work going into Christmas.
And ironically, we have enough people that can play. Havertz can play left 8, right? 8. And by the way, in that role as well, if Trossard gets tired, you can drop Havertz back.
Yeah.
And Jesus could come on if he's available.
That's true.
So Sterling and Trossard can start there.
Yeah.
Saka and Havertz could finish there.
Yeah.
And Jesus could come on if he's available. Calafiori can be on the left instead of Timber. Timber can play centre back in the 3. Ben White can push out. Saka can go up.
Yeah.
There's enough options there. The only downside is this again is all relying on Partey and Jorginho in a double pivot playing 90 minutes apiece, and then playing. One of them's going to have to play again on Thursday.
Yeah.
And then both of them are probably going to have to play, or one of them is going to have to play again on Sunday.
That's a lot. That's a lot for them. In the older legs.
And that's the one issue, is because I think Havertz can cover for Odegaard for a period of time. Rice is back after 1 game.
Yeah.
So one of them gets the rest. But one of them's probably going to end up playing 90 minutes Sunday, Thursday, and one of them's going to have to play 90 minutes Thursday, Sunday.
Yeah.
And I don't think either of them can, especially at the level in which we're playing against, because we're against the Europa Cup champs, our biggest rivals, and the Premier League champions.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's 3 of those away games in a row is just mad.
I think Hulkauer said Saka and Sterling on the right together might not work. I'm pretty sure they did that in the previous Euros. Not this one just gone. I think the one before we went to the final, I think it was Saka and Sterling on the right during that, and it worked very nicely for England, so they have done that
That
before.
does ring a bell. Yeah, and also with the wing-back thing, it's a little different because Sterling would be more centralised.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know if we should get so far away from the style we play.
No, it's dangerous.
Because, there is ways of doing what we just said, but keeping that, if we can keep Ben White and Saka, but instead of Odegaard, it's Havertz.
Yeah.
That triangle is everything.
Yeah.
And again, Odegaard is the guy who can find those little slip passes, but Havertz is a very good player.
Yeah.
So I think if we can kind of keep that together. For me, I think because it's a North London derby, you play a schoolboy like Nweri.
He has an opportunity to become an instant legend.
Because you can keep that back four exactly how it was. The back five is untouched. The front three of Martinelli, Saka, and Trossard as number 9 is nearly untouched. And Trossard's unbelievable as a number 9.
Yeah.
And he's played every game. So it's hardly untouched. The only worry is the midfield. But the 6 is how we started the season.
Yeah.
Partey.
Yeah.
So if we can not... And then Havertz has also played, for example, left 8.
Yeah.
So if you imagine, take away Lewis Skelly and Odegaard in that right 8.
Yeah.
The rest of the team is pretty much the team that's played every game.
Yeah. Yeah, we've done that before.
So when you look at all the worries, the only real issue is that Odegaard's missing.
Yeah.
But Lewis Skelly could fill that spot.
Yeah.
So I think Arteta's talked about it before. Change as little as possible. If you can.
Yeah.
Other than Trossard moving from left to centre.
Yeah.
And Havertz dropping back again. But he's dropped back 2 of the first 3 games.
Yeah.
The only change is Odegaard for Nweri.
Yeah, it's minimal.
And that makes it seems a lot less scary.
Yeah.
Take away the fact that Partey's going to play 90 minutes. Because at that, by the way, if you play like that, he doesn't have to play 90 minutes.
No.
Because Jorginho can come on for 70 minutes.
I think that's the safest bet going forward.
But Nweri's going to have to play 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Because there is no one else.
Yeah.
Unless Trossard drops down and it's by the end of the game we might have Trossard and Havertz in the middle, which isn't their position. So it is tough. But again, there's people like Zinchenko who can play left 8.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I think changing as little as possible is probably the strongest spot. And the way to do that is to play the exact team that played the last game.
Yeah.
And the only difference is Odegaard and
yeah.
Nweri. Obviously, I understand that Rice isn't in there as well, but the point being that Rice usually drops into a 6, Havertz drops into his position.
Yeah.
Imagine that's happened at the start of the game, and Rice hasn't dropped; he's come off.
Yeah.
And Trossard's got.
I think it doesn't disrupt as much.
Yeah. And later on in that game, by the way, you can bring on, if Jesus is available, you could bring on Jesus for Trossard.
Yeah.
You can bring on Sterling for Martinelli.
Yeah.
And that freshens it up. Jorginho for Partey, Calafiori for, if he's available, for Timber.
Yep.
Zinchenko for Nweri maybe.
Yep.
That's the only dicey one.
Yeah.
Is someone that shouldn't be playing 90 minutes is going to play 90 minutes.
Yeah.
But that's, for me, that's how you get around it. I don't feel overly confident. I feel slightly more confident now. I've kind of realised that it's one change, even though it's realistically there's 2 changes.
Yeah.
But the way in which we move it around and the way in which the players move, you can make it look like one change.
I feel like you've talked us all round there.
Yeah, and also with North London Derby, there's something to me emotional about. Not emotional as in I get sad, but there's an emotional factor to the idea of a youth player.
Yeah.
His first proper start is the North London Derby, and it's against the odds.
I feel like
It screams Nweri to score.
Yeah, well, I feel
you know
like
what I mean?
I feel like on the Tottenham side, Danny Rose did something very similar.
Yeah.
He was a new young player. He played in the North London Derby and scored a screamer against us. So is this Nweri's chance to do the same thing? And like you said before, football is scripted. So
it is, yeah. And like, if you look at City, they're playing a lot of youth at the minute.
yeah,
And I mean, Rodri's not playing. Like, they're getting away with it. And again, we've talked about how they get away with it.
Yeah.
It's different to how we have to get away with it. But they get away with it.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to look at it and be like, yeah, we're still good enough. It's just, I genuinely believe we're one player light, because if Rice wasn't suspended, nothing changes.
no.
Because if Rice wasn't suspended, Havertz would play in Odegaard's position, the rest of the team would stay exactly the same.
Yeah, and we'd be quite confident, really.
Yeah, we wouldn't question it. We'd just be like, it's a shame Odegaard's out.
Yeah.
But again, if Odegaard had got through this fit, the only person missing was Rice.
Yep.
We thought that was a worry last week.
Yeah.
But now we got no Moreno, no Rice, no Odegaard. So like, if one of them was available, like Moreno,
Yeah.
he could play left eight and Havertz could play. And nothing changes. It's just the fact that all 3 of them. And again, come Thursday, Rice is back.
Yeah.
So it's back to just the 2 problems.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's not as bad as maybe we think. Maybe we talked our way around it.
I think you've helped us a lot there, Scott.
I appreciate that, Joe. Hossam said, "Do Spurs have any injuries?" I don't actually know. Solanke missed the last one, but I'm fairly sure he's back.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did Bentancur go off injured? Can't remember. It doesn't matter, really. We got a Chelsea fan there from Ryan, so I'm not even going to read that, Ryan. And another one. Yeah. Anyway, guys, hopefully enjoy the podcast here on Spotify and iTunes. Gunners Are Us. We're on TikTok, Gunners Are Us Pod. Go check us out on there if you haven't already. We are live every single week, 10 a.m. GMT. We talk about the week of football coming up. We do Premier League predictions. We talk about Arsenal. We talk about every team, really. This week's quite heavy Arsenal because so much has kind of comedically gone wrong. So it's kind of an easier one to talk about. But please follow us on TikTok because we're trying to hit that 10K mark.
Yay.
If you're watching, please send us around. Try and get your friends to follow us. Push our videos around. We do 2 videos a day. But we will be back next week when the North London Derby will be done. We'll be a day before at Atlanta. And we'll have more of an understanding of whether Odegaard's injured or Calafiori or Jesus. Because this time next week, maybe Calafiori is fit. Maybe Jesus is fit. Rice will be off a suspension. Maybe the one injury in the whole squad is actually just, other than Tomiyasu and Tierney, their perma injury, is Odegaard.
We're going to filter it down to the bare minimum of what we're facing.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll find out. But we've got to go through a North London Derby. It's the worst game of the year, but also the best game. It makes me shake uncontrollably. I hate it. We went 3-0 up last year and we nearly drew. And it was my birthday.
It was.
And we had a lovely sandwich. I remember that. But the frustration of being 3-0 up and being like, oh, this is such a fun watch, to just panic.
Yeah.
And I think it was a rare mistake.
Yeah.
I think at home last year, Jorginho made a mistake.
Yes.
Might have been the year before, I can't remember. We've had a lot of weird stuff happen in these games, so hopefully the jinx ends. HK says always anxious before a derby. I know, it's horrid.
I'm trying not to think about it too much now before Sunday.
Yeah. We're going to end the podcast here. TikTok will stay live with you for a couple more minutes before we shut you down. But as for Gunners Roster Podcast, we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.